What's up everyone, Dink here, going for Dink Tips episode 3, I think I'm on now. Want to talk about making good reads, what goes into a read, what exactly a read is. For this episode I've decided to choose Jax. And of course, the people's champ, Quan Chi and Jade. So, reads, basically, if you don't know what a read is, it's basically guessing what your opponent is going to do and countering them. So, I'll make a... This is super easy, obviously, but... So, I've set the AI to reversal dash punch, so I know that when he hits, when I hit him, he's going to counter with a dash punch. Now this may seem super simple, but in a match you can kind of do the same thing, you know. Like you can do this one, which is actually safe. Let's see if they try and reversal it. If they don't know it's safe, then you can punish it. Kind of bait it out, basically guess. Put them in a situation where you're in control. But a lot of things go into reads, so this is going to be a little bit more of a talking than an actual demonstrating one, so just be prepared for that. The few things that go into it are all of your bars. So you got your life bar, you got your stamina bar, you got your special bar. People are going to be a little bit more desperate and their options close when they're low on health. You know, the lower health you have to make a move, you have to make it count, you have to go for that damage. Because you got to make a comeback. So if you have a health lead, you can kind of sit back and do, you know, more safe stuff from full screen, you know, sometimes throw a bat, just kind of walk backwards, just create space, you know, and kind of force them to do something. Then stamina as well. If you use all your stamina bar and you notice that they don't have any stamina, you know that they can't use interactables, they can't use, they can't dash at you, you know, they can't do run cancels, that kind of thing. The biggest thing that you'll see this happens, because stamina does recover pretty quickly, is after a breaker. After your opponent breakers, they lose their stamina for, which seems like pretty much forever. Well, I have on block always, I want to block stance. Watch. Oh, that recovers. But it stamina takes all of your energy meter. How do I show the stamina? It refills automatically in practice mode, which is kind of a pain. But generally when they break, as you can see, it takes 2 bars of stamina to break, so that you know after that they can't run, they can't use interactables, they're pretty much just sitting there. It's kind of like a last resort kind of thing. So when you see them break, I like to do long range moves. Often I'll throw out a trance. You know, certain characters, like of course Jax, can punish it, but you know, some characters might not be able to without the use of a run, so that's something to keep in mind. As well as their stamina, or sorry, their super meter at the bottom there. So that you can kind of tell on a read what they're gonna do. Like for example, if I'm Quan Chi and I have no meter, you know, my overhead into EX Rune isn't gonna combo. So there's really no reason for me to do that. It puts me at disadvantage, so I'm going to go for the low string, because I can get a combo off that. You know, or I have to make a hard read and be back to into trance, which is extremely punishable. So either way, I'm leaving myself open to be punished, and of course I have no meter, so it's very unsafe for me to do. Example, Jax's dash punch. If you have him pressured and he has no meter, and you're doing like a frame trap or something where usually you have to armor to get out, you don't have to worry about the armor because he has no meter to use armor. So he either has to backdash, or if you time it incorrectly, he can poke you. So kind of reading your opponent and staying one move ahead. Like I usually do one move with the intent of reading the next move that comes up. So like I will do this string expecting him before I even start the string to do the dash punch. So then when he does the dash punch, if he does the dash punch, I'm ready to punish him. Because it's already what I wanted to do. That's called a read. Now if I set him to stance always. Now that's unsafe, for example. So let's say I do that once just to test to see if he knows that he can armor there. But I get the low attack is guaranteed if I time it right. Which obviously I'm not right now. Now I look silly. Okay, yeah, there you go. Finally. But yeah, assuming I time it right, the low is guaranteed there. He can't armor it. So yeah, you can condition somebody doing that once and like, oh, you can get out of it. And then the next time you go into that, do the guaranteed one. And, you know, obviously AI is going to block it every time, but somebody else might try and armor and then get hit by the low because they think they can armor out when they can't. One of the other things you should know about reads is stage awareness. So like we're just kind of playing around in the middle of stage and you kind of see them creeping backwards and you know you see this little post flashing here. That means they're in range to use the interactable. They can kind of sit back on it. You know, they might try and zone you, but you know they always have that option there. And depending on where they want to be, so if I have low health and I'm sitting here on the other side of the screen, you got full health. Obviously I want to do something to get close to you, so I might use the interactable, and then you can read it, do a neutral jump punch, anti-air, whatever you want to do. And then it's kind of a double guess because I could guess that you're going to try and hit me out of it. So like an air skull or do a sky drop. So that's when reads really get interesting. When I do something that looks predictable, but I'm actually just baiting you to punish it. But the main thing when you want to think about making reads and baits and stuff like that is just knowing all the options. Knowing all the options that your opponent has available. Do they have meter? They can armor. Do they have stamina? They can run cancel. Are they near an interactable? They can use it to escape, or they could use it for armor as well. Then you got to look at, do they have the stamina and the meter to do both of those things? And you got something like this in the corner. Gets you out of the corner. It's pretty safe. You know, so a character like Quan Chi, for example, who struggles in the corner, I'm going to be looking for things like that because I don't have a true armored move, so I can use my stamina and my armor to use the interactables to get out of there. So really knowing what your opponent's options are and kind of beating them to the punch a little bit. Like sometimes if you're on the stage, like I was saying earlier, backing up, and you know as they're backing up that they're approaching the interactable, but they're already here and they see the interactable and they're like, oh yeah, I can use that, and then, but you saw it before they did, you're ready for it, and they just panicked and saw a way out and did it. So basically the main things, I'll just recap real quick. Sorry if this was kind of a boring, a little bit more of a ranty, but reads are basically, to make good reads, you want to see one, where your opponent is on the stage, what's around them, where their health is at. Do they need to make a comeback? Do they need to do something risky? Are they going to do something safe? Do you know how to punish either option? Do you know what those options are? Stamina. You know, are they full screen? Can they run at you? Did they just break her, or are they stuck there for a minute and they're forced to jump at you to close distance? Maybe you should anti-air them. And then super meter, do they have an armor option? Does the character in general have an armor option? Of course, Quan Chi doesn't really, kind of, but same problem he had in MK9. But you put all these things together, it's not something that's going to happen overnight, but if you want to practice it, you know, just play with a friend or go into a ranked match, and don't worry about your win-loss record. Just see how many times you can predict what your opponent's going to do, and try and bait them. You know, if I'm standing this far away from Jax, you know, I can neutral duck, and punish the dash punch, but I have to wait and see if he's going to do it, because you're in the range right now where it's going to hit, so... play around, guys, if you need any more clarification. I know, like I said, it was kind of ranty, but just post in the comments, and if you want to see me do a video on something else, a different topic, something you're struggling with, yeah, just post it up as well, and I'll do my best to help you. So thanks for watching episode 3 of Dink Tips, and I will be back next week with something else for you.